Oh, football is close. Time to start talking some draft strategy. Name code right there. I'm Dustin. We're talking about quarterback.
That's right,
strategy.
the gunslingers, the guys that toss the pigskin around, the QBs that are throwing it deep.
That. So every year the mindset kind of changes a little bit based on the depth at each position, who you excited about. So we're going to talk about all that. Before we get into it though, check out our draft guide. You can get to it. The link in the description. Also check out Fantasy Football University. It just helps you get prepared for your draft, get you prepared for the season. Something in there for everyone. It's geared towards beginners or intermediates. If you're looking to get kind of an edge, learn how to play fantasy football a little bit better, check out our app.
Dustin said I needed to be more animated at the beginning of videos. That was part of our last review, so I hope that worked. Right. All right, if anything, it's probably the other way actually with you and me. All right, so talking about quarterbacks, early rounds. So you're looking at Brady and Rodgers. That's the early round, right? And right now, they're going in the 3rd round, which Dustin and I really like. And you hear all the time these experts say, wait on a quarterback. Look at how our mock drafts went. Look how late the quarterbacks went. They didn't start going to the 5th round. Well, you know what? Those are the expert drafts. In your home league, really think about it. Look at previous years. When did the quarterbacks go, right? And I talked about this last year, but once you get one of these studs, you know how hard it is to try to trade for one of these studs at 1-2 weeks into the season? So there is great value there. It's the consistency. Brady and Rodgers are going to be great. Dustin and I are all right. Like right now they're going 3rd round, but if they're going, you know, are you taking Dez or Gronk or one of these guys? We're all right if you want to go quarterback there, absolutely. So keep that in mind when you're drafting the early round guys.
And there's always give and take in a draft. And that's the thing with this whole quarterback draft strategy that I think a lot of people lose sight on in terms of, you know, what could your team look like if you went with one of the better quarterbacks? Like if you went with Aaron Rodgers early and then got Gillislee where you would normally get your quarterback. Well, that's fine. Or you could go Ajayi early and then get Dak later. So it's like, who would you rather have, Ajayi and Dak or Rodgers and Gillislee? Like, it's still pretty equal. But the biggest thing that I've noticed this year with where my head is at, I am fine paying up for Brady or Rodgers. But when you get down into tier 2 with Luck and Breeze, there's some question marks around Luck's shoulder. Breeze, you know, with those 2 running backs, is he going to be asked to throw as much? And you go all the way down, Mariota, Newton, Dak, Winston, Carr, all the way down to like 12. I don't think the gap from the 3rd best quarterback to the 12th best quarterback is as big as it has been in years past. So if I don't get the top 2, I think I am buying in on the wait on a quarterback and go ahead and fill up the rest of my positions. You know, if I can get, because if I'm looking at Breeze and then getting Gillislee later, I think I'd rather get McCaffrey and get Dak later. So I'm more excited about McCaffrey and Dak in that scenario.
So we got the top 2 as the top 2, and then we agree with the weight strategy a little bit after that, where they fall to the right position for you.
And right now, you know, when you look at tier 2, you know, they're not going much later than...
No, they're like a round. I mean,
yeah, it's really only like a round later. So, I mean, I'm fine. Like, hey, I missed out on the top 2, that's fine. I mean,
I'm chilling.
Breeze is still going to have a good year, but if you're at all between, you know, a running back, receiver, or quarterback once the top 2 go off the board and you're like, I kind of like this running back, snag them. There's plenty of options later that you can get excited about.
And the other thing to keep in mind, though, with all of this is you have to know your league settings. That is so pivotal for this. If it's a 6-point passing touchdown, then that hurts, you know, like, Dak rushed into the end zone a bunch last year. But if it's 6-point passing, it really doesn't matter if you're rushing or passing, so you don't get that added bonus. Also, the 10 yards for a rush, you know, 10 rushing yards equals a point compared to if it's 20 or 25 or 30 or 35. You know, that also is going to consider where you should really be taking quarterbacks. And real quick, 2 QB strategy leagues. Move up your quarterbacks. Take them earlier. While Dustin said the top 12, 15 are good, you know, we're happy with, the bottom bit is trash. I have not seen a starting quarterback tier so bad as we've seen in years past that we've seen compared to this year. So you're going to have to keep that in mind.
And one thing that you should do more often, you know, especially if you're in the league with the same people every year, go back, look at last year's draft results.
Huge.
And just see where were the quarterbacks going. There's a lot of times people's mindsets don't change a ton from year to year. You know, if you have 8 people in your league that are a quarterback waiting strategy type person, that's probably not going to change much from year to year. So take a look at the draft results from last year.
One last thing, if you're in a super flex league, that means you're in a 2 QB league.
Yes.
Just know that. Superflex equals
let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree with the strategy, how your strategy would be with quarterbacks this year. Check out all our other videos.
Making a football.
Throw your football, sir.